Worst run franchises. Philadelphia Flyers. The Philadelphia Flyers haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1975 and always seem to have the same issues. The Flyers have changed coaches and GMs many times throughout the years, but it hasn't seemed to make a difference. The Philadelphia Flyers joined the NHL in 1967, and by the 72-73 season, the Flyers became known as the Broad Street Bullies. With their rough and intimidating play style, the Broad Street Bullies won back-to-back Stanley Cups in 1974 and 1975. Fast forward to 1980. The Flyers would make early playoff exits the next 4 seasons, including 3 first-round exits in a row. In 1984, the Flyers hired Mike Keenan to be their new head coach. In 1986, led by goaltender Ron Hextall, the Flyers made the Stanley Cup Finals, but they were no match for the Edmonton Oilers, who were in the midst of their dynasty. Despite losing the finals to the Oilers, Ron Hextall was still named the Conn Smythe winner. The 1988-89 season would mark the Flyers' last playoff appearance until 1995. Fast forward to the 1992 draft. At the 1992 draft, the Philadelphia Flyers acquired Eric Lindros from the Quebec Nordiques for Peter Forsberg, Steve Duchesne, Ron Hextall, Kerry Huffman, Mike Ricci, Chris Simon, a first-round pick in 1993, 94, and $15 million in cash. While Lindros became a star right away for the Flyers, in the long run, the deal heavily favored Quebec, as Forsberg became a key cog on Colorado Avalanche's 2 Stanley Cup teams. Lindros and the Flyers would have terrific regular seasons from the mid to late 90s, but in the playoffs, the Flyers would often come up short. The Flyers were in total dysfunction from 1997 to 2007, as they had a carousel of coaches come and go. List the Flyers coaches from 1997 to 2007: Wayne Cashman, Roger Nilsson, Craig Ramsey, Bill Barber, Ken Hitchcock, John Stevens. Another huge issue for the Flyers during that time frame was that their goaltending was really suspect. Here are the list of Flyers goalies from 97 to 2007. Sean Burke, Jeff Hackett, Roman Cechmanek, Robert Esch, John Van Beesbrook, and Chiro Ninemaki. In the 2007 offseason, the Flyers signed Kimmo Timonen and Scott Hartnell to a 6-year deal. Then with the second pick in the 2007 draft, they drafted James Van Riemsdyk. In free agency, the Flyers signed Daniel Briere to an 8-year deal worth $52 million. In the 2010 playoffs, the Flyers erased a 3-0 deficit in the semifinals against the Boston Bruins and rallied to win the series 4-3. The Flyers would advance to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they lost to the Chicago Blackhawks in 6 games. Flyers GM Paul Holmgren made a few bold moves in the summer of 2011. The Flyers traded Jeff Carter to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Jacob Voracek, a first-round pick in 2011, which turned into Sean Couturier, and a third-round pick in 2011, which turned into Nick Cousins. Then, the Flyers traded Mike Richards to the LA Kings for Braden Shen, Wayne Simmons, and a second-round pick in 2012. Ilya Bryzgalov was signed to a 9-year deal worth $51 million. In the 2012 offseason, the Flyers made a huge mistake, trading away Sergei Bobrovsky to the Columbus Blue Jackets for just a second-round pick in 2012 and a fourth-round pick in 2012, as well as a fourth-round pick in 2013. On May 7th, 2014, GM Paul Holmgren was promoted to president, and thus Ron Hextall took his place as GM. On May 18th, 2015, Dave Hakstol was named the new head coach. The Flyers just missed the playoffs in the 2016-2017 season, but they lucked into the second overall pick in the 2017 draft, with just a 2.4% chance of winning that pick. With the second overall pick in the 2017 draft, the Flyers selected Nolan Patrick. In the 2017-2018 season, the Flyers lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Philadelphia Flyers have made some very questionable personnel decisions over the years, which is why they haven't been more successful. Next, I'll be doing a best run franchises on the Boston Bruins.